everybody, it is I, Crystal Flame 360, or if you prefer, just Crystal, and welcome to this small corner of the internet where I just do whatever I feel like doing. Today's video is a follow-up on Friday's video, which, if you're unsure of what Friday's video was, it was a rant on The Sims 4, or at least it turned into a rant on The Sims 4 in the second half. And during that same rant I said that that was the only video I was going to make on The Sims 4, and I kind of lied here. This is now going to be the last video that I'm going to make on The Sims 4. So, for those new to my channel, this is what I'm like usually. Well, yeah. I don't usually get as wound up as I did on Friday's video. I was just like angry in general, and it was just amplified by just, yeah. I'll get to that. So why am I making this? Well, I kind of stated first why. So just to kind of, yeah, I got way too wound up originally. That much so. Sorry, that I was kind of shouty, I felt like I was too aggressive, and yeah, I kind of thought back to some things that I said, like namely the 13-year-old common and other things like that, and I just kind of cringed. And yeah, the video in general was just made in the heat of the moment, so I felt like I said some things that may have been hurtful. Like some things that felt like they were personal attacks or something when they weren't. And even then, the anger was more directed towards the toxic side of the fan base, the toxic side of the community, where, you know, they see nothing wrong with the game, and anyone who disses the game or thinks that it should be better, again, as I said in the video, would get butthurt and start slinging abuse at the consumers that just want a good product. And everyone is within their right to enjoy what they enjoy without getting bashed on or anything like that, and people have the right to also critique a product that they're paying for, that they're throwing money towards, because at the end of the day it's people's money getting wasted on a product that's being half-arsed, admittedly. EA is probably, no doubt, making Maxis, you know, churn them out for profit or whatever, you know, like features that, so features that could have all been put into one pack together are like split into many different stuff packs and things like that. So in The Sims 2 in The Sims 2 Nightlife, sorry, I got confused for a second. So in The Sims 2 Nightlife, you got cars, which were introduced in the Sims 3 base game, so I'm not going to mention that in terms of the late night equivalent for the third game. You know, you got like bowling, the downtown area, dates were introduced along with the chemistry system and turn-ons and turn-offs and stuff like that, and even vampires, a new death type for the vampires, and vampire clothes and accessories and new NPCs and stuff like that. But as far as the features are concerned, it's mainly the chemistry system, the dating system, and objects like bowling and I think the electromagnetic dance sphere was introduced with Nightlife. But then Sims 3 Late Night, you know, you got Bridgeport, you got vampires, you got, I can't remember what came with Late Night, because it came with way too much stuff. Can't be said for The Sims 4 though, can we? Because in The Sims 4, it's kind of like bowling is its own stuff pack, I think. It's got no chemistry system to speak of as of recording this, unless you use mods, and yeah, cars don't exist, which, to be fair to The Sims 4, I don't think cars are necessary with how the world works. However, it does break immersion when you're playing it, that your sim just kind of walks to the edge of the lot and then, like, not even like The Sims 2, where they kind of just walk down the sidewalk, you know, down the pavement, and then they disappear. They just kind of walk onto the road and disappear in The Sims 4, and it's like, Okay. That's a bit weird. But I kind of got sidetracked because I was kind of recording the intro here and it just turned into like some kind of weird comparison. But anyway, as I was saying, again, the way I came off as quite aggressive in that video kind of made me feel it did make me feel bad. The day well, technically the night, because I uploaded it on the midnight on Saturday. It was supposed to go up on Sunday, but I took way too long editing it because I was honestly scared to post it. Because, I don't know, because I was aware of how, I was going to say weird I came off, but I did come off as, I do feel like I came off as seriously aggressive. And I was just there like, oh my god, I'm probably gonna wake up with a bunch of comments telling me to kill myself or whatever. Like I don't know. My expectations of the internet are that low at this point. It's a mess. But surprisingly enough, as of the time I'm recording this, nothing has actually happened. I think last I checked it has 42 views or something like that, last I checked. And it only has a couple comments, one comment giving a timestamp, why, and two others kind of saying that they agreed with what I said. So it wasn't too bad. I was expecting to be swarmed with a bunch of abuse, but again, it's on the internet. New people are eventually going to see it, and eventually people are going to probably go, okay, let's get this bitch, you know. And I felt like I swore too much too. I swore way too much. I think while editing, I lost count of the amount of times I said shit. I said that way too much. It was like someone gave me a piece of paper and went, okay, say shit 10 times in this video. Like, it wasn't like that. Again, it was just recorded in the heat of the moment. But anyway, either way, every time I get like a notification that pertains to my channel, sorry, this video is really unstructured, isn't it? But like, every time I see a notification from YouTube, I'm always there like, oh crap. At least I was like that the day after it went up anyway. I was quite anxious. Every time I'd get a notification, I was like, oh no, it's come. The time has come. Brace yourself. But it turns out it was just either someone commenting, going, oh, this is alright. I'm like, okay. So yeah, I had been scared to browse YouTube. Thought of uploading made me quite anxious. You know, it's surprisingly enough to me a lot of courage to upload a Strangely Pleasant View on Sunday, because I was just like, oh no. And like I said, every time I'd get a notification, I'd be like, oh no. So yeah, and again, to drive how anxious I was home to you, I even had a nightmare the night I uploaded the video, which it was one of those ones where you have it, you wake up, you feel unnerved but you don't know why, and then the memories gradually come back as the day progresses and you're like, oh crap, you know what I mean? I could make a whole video on dreams, like, they're really interesting, but talk about The Sims here, aren't we? So, in other words, this video is just me being me, not hot-headed and up the wall like I was on Friday's video. So I want to quickly elaborate on what was said, but because I went in expecting this video to be actually short and easy to record, but instead I'm almost 10 minutes into recording and I've not even gotten to the main bulk of the video yet. I really have to sort this out, haven't I? So I'm just going to go over some of the points I've made and elaborate a bit more, which could either be the death of me or I don't know. Because you may sit down and say, look, no one's responded negatively yet from what I can see, so you don't have to make this part 2, if you will, to kind of go, look, this is my views more elaborated and stuff like that. But the reason why I'm doing this is just in case, if you will, the wrong person comes across the video, if that makes sense. I go, oh, this person's just a cow. Let's send abuse in the comments, and then, because either way, they come across this video then and just see that I do have some thought out opinions. I'm not just some angry Nancy, you know. I do have opinions that I can say without swearing, so this is just what this video is. So I'll just get started then. So I made a point about the pre-mates being done dirty, and I don't take anything I said about that whatsoever. Everything I said about the pre-made Sims in The Sims 4, they are fan service done incorrectly, because they are fan service done wrong. You know, when you see a sim from a previous game, you're supposed to look on and go, oh my god, it's the Caliente sisters, or oh my god, it's Don Lothario, but instead you're just kind of looking at them and going, okay, who are these? Who are these girls, and why are they called Nina and Dina? They look nothing like Nina and Dina. Or you look at the new Don and you're like, why is there a blow-up doll outside my house? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't feel like the same Sims they were, because Don, I'd imagine being like, you know, muscular, if you will, but not a blow-up doll. Like, he looks like a blow-up airbed or something, you know what I mean? He just looks really silly. Like, I'm just there like, how can you sleep with their muscles? What? And not only that, but like, most of the characters have either been whitewashed, i.e. Cassandra and Bella, like they're lighter skinned than I remember them being. I don't know if they've been changed though, because I know Sims 4 has had a skin tone update around the time I'd stopped playing it at that point. So I don't know if Cassandra and, what's her name again? Bella have been fixed, but I've got Bella's name for a second. Have been fixed, but either way, I don't think they have. But not only have they been whitewashed or even blackwashed in the case of Holly Alto. Is blackwashed a word? Is that a real thing? I don't think it is. I don't know. I don't know. But the personalities and all that jazz have been altered unnecessarily, and it's just like, dude. Also, on a really weird note, like The Sims in general, not just in the case of pre-mades, but they all act the same without any distinction. So I think they've actually made an update to kind of fix this issue somewhat. So now is it hates children or dislikes children? It's something that makes your sim not like children anyway. I think they've implemented some sort of fix now where Sims with that trait now actually show a dislike towards children. I think they fixed it, because that was something I was going to complain about until I remembered. I was like, I think that's been fixed though. But I don't think it's happened for all traits. Only a select few as far as I'm aware. And yeah, even then they behave the same anyway. So like, it's more, I'm talking about more in terms of the social autonomy, you know, so you'll have someone who's quite, so in The Sims 2 for example, you have someone who's quite on the grouchy side of the personality scale, so like 1, 2 or 3 nice points, so they'll be very grouchy, so they're more likely to be nasty to someone than other Sims. I said someone and then Sims in the same sentence, but whatever. And so for example, Nina Caliente with her 3 nice points is more likely to go and bully someone autonomously on the community lot, as opposed to the nicer Dina. So, I always do this, I never used to do this before. So you've got the grouchy Nina, who will start fights with people on community lots, and the nicer Dina. Oh my god, hang on. Right. I don't know why I'm doing this. So you'll have the grouchier Nina go to start a fight with some unsuspecting sim on a community lot, and then you'll have the much nicer Dina, there we go, who will admire people on community lots autonomously, right? And be nice to them generally and all that jazz, and tell jokes because she's quite playful, while Nina is more likely to not reciprocate the joke that well because she's quite serious. And yeah, The Sims 3 works the exact same. If you've got a sim that's mean-spirited or evil, they will be nasty autonomously. Now, in The Sims 4, if you've got a sim that's like evil or mean or whatever, they won't do anything. They'll just do general social interactions. So I've just got The Sims 2 where you're more than likely to gain enemies without even trying. And The Sims 3, that can happen, but I find you've got to give it a bit of a push. Actually, now that I think about it, no, actually, The Sims 3 is fine. The Sims 3 is fine in that regard. You can also gain enemies without trying in The Sims 3 if your sim is that much of a meanie. I was going to say a swear word then, but I'm trying to cut down on that because it makes me come off as too angry. At least that's how I feel anyway. And in The Sims 4, again, they'll just behave normally. So even if they're nasty and evil, they'll have really good relationships with most of their neighbours because they're very nice. Again, I'm not sure if they fixed it or not, but still, the autonomous options are really boring. They don't act with any urgency or anything like that. They just kind of like idle chit-chat. So for example, I had a sim in my game, The Sims 4, who, for some reason, his wife, who was feeling flirted with his best friend in front of him. Now, of course, he was understandably angry about this. He was infuriated. He was really mad that his wife just flirted with his best friend in front of him. What does he go on do? He just chats with her on the couch and they have a happy discussion. And I'm just like, what? I mean, if my spouse cheated on me, I won't be sitting and talking to them civil over a brew. I'd kick them out the house. Like, what are you doing? So I had to, as part of what I wanted for the story, because the game wasn't going to do it itself, I had them divorce. And then he was upset about it, and I'm just there like, she cheated on you, you idiot. Like, you can't be dejected that a happy time of your life has ended or whatever, but like, she cheated on you. It should be like a happy, I got rid of that loser, you know what I mean? You know, like in The Sims 2, your sim gets a positive memory if they've broken up with a spouse who they're in a poor relationship with. It should have been something like that. So they could have just added some sort of variable or something to kind of go like, if angry due to the spouse, then at the time of divorce, then they get happy about it. But if they're in like a decent relationship with their spouse and they've split up, then by all means they can be sad about it. And even then, their mood let's get overwritten anyway if they're in a nicely decorated room, combined with making a new friend, having good music in the room and having a nice meal. That's enough to make someone not depressed in this game. And I went from ranting about pre-mades to ranting about the emotion system. Just, yeah. I'll get to that later. But while I was on the topic of pre-made Sims, in The Sims 4, I see a lot of hate for Eliza Pancakes. At least I think that's her name. She's like the red-headed lass with glasses and the green vest thing. And her husband is called Bob. That's such a great name. Bob Pancakes. I don't know what it is about that name. It kind of has the same power as Greg Lancaster. Actually, Greg Lancaster's a better name. Not to toot my own horn, because that's that's the name of a sim, one of the custom HUDs in the second game. So, Greg, love that name. I'm not even saying this to be sarcastically. I just Greg. It has really nice memories from like the Ira Wimpy kid. The main protagonist was called Greg. Well, the guy we followed was called Greg. Yeah. He was an interesting character. Anyway, we're not talking about Diary of a Wimpy Kid, are we? But I just don't get why Eliza is hated, is what I'm trying to say. Because at least when I played the game, she was harmless enough. For the most part, she just faded into the background. Granted though, I had like most EPs anyway at the time, so maybe the people that don't like her very much are just people that have played it since the base game, and when there weren't that many sims, so she cropped up everywhere. I don't know. But either way, she doesn't crop up that much in my game anyway. So there's that. But for me, I think the Vlad guy's the problem. Like, the Vlad guy is who you should be looking out for. Like, what kind of icebreaker is yo, hot neck? Like, oh, he's not a vampire, he's just a creepy neighbour. I will admit, that was one of the things about The Sims 4 that always got a chuckle out of me when I started a new family when I played it. Just this, you get this little head pop up from Vlad and he's like, lovely neck. I'm like, thank you. Thank you. I did decorate it a lot today. I put a turtleneck over it. Don't touch me. Little garlic choker. But yeah, but since I was ranting about it before, I'll just get to the emotion system now, since I was ranting about it before. So, emotions have little nuance and consequences, like the example I stated about the man. Screw it, I'll just tell you the actual names. So, the best friend so the wife was called Haley. The best friend that she flirted with was called Vance, and the husband she cheated on was called Peyton. So there we go. So like I mentioned about Peyton not being that bothered, that is why I've cheated on him, except being a little bit angry, which had no consequences on the gameplay. Like, he just stomped around a bit, and that was it. He just stomped around for 24 hours and he was fine. No permanent consequences to his and Haley's relationship, because the relationship was untouched. I don't know if that was just a bug I had or what, but the relationship was still like soulmates and best friends. I was like, she cheated on you. This is toxic. Dude. And again, like I mentioned about the nice room and eating nice food to overcome depression, positive emotions can override the negatives. Now, another example, because I'm going to be mentioning Vance and Peyton in particular a lot, because they were a Cass family not a Cass family, but a Cass like pair of childhood friends that I made in Cass, and they were the only Sims in the whole game that I got any attachment to. I really got attached to these guys, that much so that I've actually remade them for one of my Sims 4 custom HUDs. One of my Sims 2 custom HUDs. So I might see if I can show the Sims 2 custom HUD off when I'm done. But I'm not going to show the process of me making it, since I'm fiddling in SimPE a lot too, and I don't think people would want to see me like giving memories in SimPE for half an hour, like, and go, this is the HUD making process, people. This is how you do it. But because I'm making like a bunch of pre-established relationships and stuff like that. But either way, as part of the story I had going on in The Sims 4 when I played it, Peyton froze to death outside. And of course, Vance witnessed this. They've been friends since they were children, very young children. They're very close. And he was upset for a few in-game seconds before he did a couple of positive things, and then he was happy. And I was like, what? What the heck's wrong with you? Your friend died like 2 in-game hours ago. Why are you happy now? To be fair though, the positive buffs did not last very long for some reason, because I took away the paintings. I put them in, I think I put them in his inventory temporarily or something like that, because I wanted him to be depressed. Does that sound heartless and nasty? Yes, but who who walks into a room after witnessing their friend die and go, oh my, that painting looks gorgeous. I'm so over that friend now. Rest in peace, brother. Like, what? No, you don't do that. You gotta grieve in your own way, obviously, but you gotta think. You gotta reflect on what's happened and come to terms with the fact that they're gone. You know? You don't just get over it. You don't, game. You don't get over that. Whew. And I will think of an idea. Like, I have thought of some ideas of how the developers could actually improve upon this. So I'd make strong life events such as death or divorce stronger, like 1000 plus to sadness or anger. Then again, wouldn't that cause emotional death? They could change the variable for that too. Like, either way, just make those strong emotional, like, life milestones, for example. Like, birth of child can be extremely happy. Death of a friend, death of a family member, death of a loved one in general. Again, proper strong sadness response. Same goes for any cheating or anything like that. Because, again, so some people can feel happy temporarily when they're indulging in watching YouTube and other activities that they like, but still, no one gets over a death by looking at a pretty painting or sitting in a nice room. That just does not happen. Your brain is just thinking about it constantly, right? So, because I should know a family member of mine died this year, so now I'll just kind of get to the controversial points quickly, or the things that I think back on, and I was like, oh god, I actually said that. Now, I did make some clarifications about it in the pinned comment on that video, and again, the reception was pretty positive, so people might be wondering why the heck I'm even making this video. But you know, it is what it is, isn't it? So I said that the player base were all 13-year-olds, so everyone who played the game were 13-year-olds, and I did say in the pinned comment that I know that's not the case. Older audiences do definitely play the game, but what I meant, I was more thinking along the lines of the toxic fans. So the toxic fans are mostly 13-year-olds. That's mostly what I meant, because, you know, the ones that hurl abuse unnecessarily. Like, I know that a lot of older and chilled fans play the game for varying reasons, but the toxic ones are usually young, because I don't think I can imagine like a 30-40-year-old like going on the internet to hurl abuse at like a 20-year-old who's not happy with a product that they got, you know? And I don't know, maybe you do have some, because people are broad, people are different, people have the different ways of doing things. Like, different types of people exist. Like, I will say now that I'm aware that not all 13-year-old fans are the toxic ones. And there's probably no doubt 13-year-old fans that do see issues with the game and play it either because A, they've got a laptop that can't run the other games, or 2, it's not like The Sims 2 is easy to access anymore, unless you either get it from an abandonware site or you buy the physical discs off of eBay or Amazon. And The Sims 1 is in the same boat in that regard. And The Sims 3, it's just think about your laptop like lifting a heavy weight, like it'd probably roast the thing. Like The Sims 3 is that unoptimized. It could just make your laptop jacked before it kills itself, before it dies. And yeah, it's just all dependent on computer specs and what machine can run on or what's readily available. So again, which in saying that brings me to my elitist comment that I said. I think even repeating it's going to make me cringe, but I said something like, people are probably going to accuse me of being elitist, and then I think I laughed for a couple seconds and said, I'm going to say something elitist a bit quickly. Every time I see someone say that The Sims 4 is the favourite Sims game, I always think to myself, who hurt you, or something like that. And then I start laughing and say, I die inside. Now, the I die inside bit is hyperbolic, but I do feel that way. I do look at it and I think, wow, that's your favourite game. You've clearly not experienced the other games in the series, or you like it for different reasons that I do, which is the case. I've read that a lot of people just play it for character creation, house creation, because it does have a brilliant build mode and its cast is alright. I'm not a fan of the pinching and it's simple in a way, but at the same time I feel like I can't get the results I want out of it. I don't know. And that's probably why most of my Sims look the same in The Sims 4, because I don't know, there's something about the cast. I don't know, maybe I'm just too into my sliders. I don't know. But yeah, and some again play it because it's easier on their machine, or it's more readily available for them, because you can just buy it off of Origin. Whereas with The Sims 2, again, you've got to either get physical copies off of Amazon or eBay, or you've got to get it from an abandonware site, and same for The Sims 1. And The Sims 3, I think, is available on Steam, I believe. Though I don't know how that works exactly. I think The Sims 3 is on Steam. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's on Origin. Is The Sims 3 on Origin? I don't know, I've not looked at Origin in over a year. So, yeah, there's that. So, as for the who hurt you part, it was supposed to come off as a joke, but looking that bit over, I realised that my tone came off as patronising and condescending. The comment itself doesn't mean anything. The who hurt you is a filler line. It was just filler. It was an attempt in trying to come off as funny as filler. So it was intended to be funny, but considering the context, it made me feel like this could upset people. So just think nothing of that line, because it is a nothing line. You know when someone turns around and says, oh, you're, no, because that's actually something I end up ranting about. That would just be up for another day. I was going to mention Silent Hill Downpour, but that's a game I hate more than anything. I just hate it. It's terrible. No, this is about Silent Hill Downpour. Either way, someone says something that they like, that the other person doesn't like, and they're like, who hurt you, honey? Just for a bit of a laugh. At least that's always the context I've heard it in. People may have heard it used in different contexts. So, there's that. The I Die a Little Inside was supposed to be a hyperbolic version of what I think, which I think I've already mentioned that, haven't I? So, if you're curious, what I really think when I see people say that The Sims 4 is their favourite Sims game, it's honestly just, I read people say that, and my response is seriously just a, why? Before I just move on, and that's it. because I personally don't see the appeal. It doesn't have anything that appeals to me. If it appeals to your builder, to the builder within you, if it appeals to the character creator inside of you, or if you know, you just find something in the gameplay that I don't, then that's fair game. Because there are a variety of reasons that anyone can like anything, and that's what just makes the world interesting. It's just the different views and how people think. Although granted, I'm scared of people, so it's... Why am I uploading on YouTube then? I don't know. I really don't know. So I'm going to talk about some other things I said, so... I said other things that are directed towards the toxic side of the fan base, telling them to grow up and things like that. I still agree with that, to be honest. I mean, like, if you're a 40, 50-year-old, just going, don't talk crap about The Sims 4, it's just my joy, kill yourself, like, then I don't know what to say. It's a game at the end of the day. It's just someone saying that a game is bad isn't going to do anything. It's not like EA is going to look at one person who criticised the game and go, oh no, our billions are at risk. Like, they're not going to care. The large majority of their consumer base consumes the product, so they're fine. Like, nothing's going to happen to them. And they've got other IPs that aren't The Sims that are quite successful. Like, they've got the Star Wars IP, I think. They've got Plants vs Zombies now, which I think was successful at one point. I might be getting confused. I think EA owns Plants vs Zombies, but they own a bunch of other IPs. I think they own FIFA too, which FIFA is like a behemoth of a... Like, people still buy FIFA, and I don't know why. But again, I don't see the appeal of FIFA, because I'm not a football person, so FIFA isn't my thing. Oh, I nudged my mic, oops. But either way, FIFA, it's not my thing. I hate FIFA. But yeah, EA Games, they've got a bunch of IPs, so even if Sims flops, they'll be fine. Because they own a bunch of successful IPs, so nothing's going to happen if just one person is like, okay, it sucks. Like, I just said FIFA sucks then. It's like EA's stock dropping, you know? But, like, back to the hurling abuse thing I was saying before, it's just like, what does bullying someone over the internet about a game going to get you? It's not going to do anything, is it? All it's going to do is make the other person behind the screen feel like crap, which at the end of the day, you've still upset a person on the other side of the world or whatever. Sure, you can't visibly see it because it's through a screen, but it's still there, which is one of the reasons why I'm making this video, because I'm just imagining people upset watching it even though I've not visibly seen any of it. So this is just... yeah, I think I've been talking way too long, but yeah, you can open the doors for a civil discussion and gain a better understanding instead of just hurling abuse at somebody. Instead of like going, how dare you diss my favourite game, go and kill yourself and die or whatever, you can just turn around and go, why do you feel this way? And if they go, well, you know, the emotion system's a bit flawed, I'm not a massive fan of building despite the building tools being great and whatnot, I feel I get more out of my style of gameplay from the second game than I do out of the fourth game, then you can just turn around and go, okay, fair enough, and then move on, you know what I mean? And yeah, because I'm aware that Sims 2 has its problems. It does. It has its problems. Like, just go look on the Sims wiki and see the dedicated page on how to stop corrupting the game, which is part of what makes the second game interesting for me. I think it's just the mechanics behind it all too. But yeah, it has its problems, but I can overlook it because the gameplay is engaging for me. I get a lot out of the gameplay, Whereas with The Sims 4, because I can't get into the gameplay, a lot of the issues are front and centre for me. So it just depends on the person, I guess. So, and I think I said something about, oh, you've got the desperate fans trying to keep them engaged by making videos on how to improve gameplay and stuff like that. And that just, thinking about it, I'm just there like, oh, they're probably just fans wanting to generally help other fans. You know, like in the Sims 2 community, you got people like suggesting challenges to spice up gameplay a little bit if you're a challenge player and stuff like that, and The Sims 3 has videos like that too. But I see them a ton for The Sims 4, which is just making me think, like, I think even the actual fans are getting burnt out. And I don't blame them if some of them are. I think I've read a lot lately that a lot of people have gone back to the third game, and hell, even the second game, because the fourth game just isn't providing them any sort of enjoyment anymore. Which, you still got a lot of players into The Sims 4, because it's the recent entry, it's the prettier one. I'm saying this in quotations, because I'm not a fan of the art style, that's just me. But, yeah. That's how much EA is kind of like, and I think the most recent, I don't know what Dreamhouse Decorator is, to be honest, because I'm getting really confused now. Because at first you had stuff packs, game packs and expansion packs. Like, even the introduction of the game packs confused me, but now you're getting like what they're called, I forgot what they're called, but the things that you buy, I forgot what they're called. Like the hoovering thing was one of them, the map with the dust bunnies or something. Gimps? No, Gamps? I really don't know. Oh crap. Gifts. No, not gifts. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's not coming out. Shit. I'm here all day if I'm trying to think of what it is. If I end up saying it randomly, it's because it just popped into my head. But yeah. Since I just stated a bunch of negative stuff for 43 minutes, well, mostly I was just rambling, but still, I wasn't expecting this video to be this flippin' long. I will state the positives briefly, which it's stuff I've already covered. So the build buy mode is good, and I also like the search function. Okay, I've already said that. Cass has decent versatility. You can make whoever, but still, I struggle with it personally. Now, onto the negative things. The soundtrack's forgettable. Like, I can't remember anything of the soundtrack, and nothing's a bop. I never had put any of the radio stations on in The Sims 4, I'd just be putting on the older Sim theme one. If you know which one I'm on about, I forgot what the station's called. As stated many times during this video and even during the last video that the gameplay is lacking. The EPs, game packs, SPs, well, yeah, expansion packs, game packs and stuff packs have nothing worth noting really, other than brief, shallow fan service and it's products that you're only going to use once and forget about. And simulation lag is a thing that I keep forgetting to mention. It has a lot of simulation lag, and I've encountered a bunch of bugs relating to the simulation lag. So yeah, it's one of the things that makes the game really unplayable. And also, it's extremely buggy, at least during my experience. So I've had a bunch of clipping problems. My Sims clip through walls, clip through each other, which leads to funny results sometimes, but it's still not a thing I encounter in The Sims 2 or 3. Hell, even The Sims 1, and that was from the year 2000. So think about that for a second, a 21-year-old game. And I had a weird bug when I was playing it where the toilets would just emanate smoke randomly, and apparently that was a feature from Eco Lifestyle? Is it Eco Lifestyle or Eco Living? It's something like it's basically Recycle Kids, the expansion pack. Is it an expansion pack? This is what I mean. This is what I mean with The Sims 4, man. This is what I mean. So, apparently there's a feature from that or something like that that made its way into the base game because, I don't know. Apparently it's been fixed, but I don't know. They were obsessed with water, but I don't know if that's a glitch. Well, it may have just been because Peyton's a mermaid, I don't know. I had a weird bug where I had endless plates of food, so the Sims would make a meal, sit at the table, and they'd eat until their hunger was full, but the meal would have no sign of ending and they'd keep eating. And as a result, Vance became kind of hunky, but you know, a bit chunky without me actually realising. But he lost his weight though, because I think he had to gain some body points for his job or something, so he lost it, but still. Endless plates of food. I mean, I think I could actually store it as leftovers and it still behave the same, so it cuts down on leftovers, I guess. And yeah, my Sims randomly T-posing was a thing. Like, I'm not even joking. I had a Sim who just randomly either T-pose or get stuck in an awkward position because of simulation lag, and I'm just like, why is this so bad? Why? And I think I have mentioned, you know, that the two cast Sims I actually made and fell in love with, Vance and Peyton. Vance Cannon and Peyton Thornton. They were great. If I were to ever go back to The Sims 4 again, it'd be for them too, but at the same time, the game's too boring to even... Yeah. They have quite the story with them though, but since I've almost been recording for 48 minutes, I really want to be wrapping up this video soon, because I didn't mean it to get this long. So I might elaborate on a story on them in the future if you're interested, but if not, then this is going to be my last Sims 4 video ever, because I'm treading on hot coals here. That's just what I'm feeling like right now. So the gist of it is though that The Sims 4 does have its positives, but not enough to keep me engaged personally. If you like it, good. Keep liking what you like. Don't hate those with different views, and stay positive. Just think of it like this: if people think the exact same way you do, is the world going to be fun? Not really. You're probably just going to be creeped out when you meet like 20 people in a row who are like, yes, I too think like this. Like, it's going to get creepy. It's going to be terrifying. I'd be terrified if someone just like robotically went, yes, I agree with everything you say. Like, I'm like, no, please think differently. As for the original video, I'm going to keep the original video up just so I'm not burying things, you know. I want to be as genuine as I can. No critical videos. I'm not going to make anything critical like this, or especially last video again. It's not what I want my channel to be about. So this is going to be the last ever TS4 video I'm ever going to make. Like I think I've said like 3 or 4 times already. So this video is nearing the 50-minute mark now, at least as far as how long I've been talking for, so I'm going to wrap it up here, because I didn't mean for it to become a long essay on that. But yeah, if you've made it this far, I actually thank you for hearing me out while I'm in a more, what's it called? A more level-headed mood, I guess. And I also thank you if you did not get offended at Friday's video, and basically hearing me out on that, and basically not taking everything I said like negatively, things I negatively said, to heart. I just generally I'm quite thankful that I just did not get jumped on, at least straight away. But then again though, for this video being like a slight kind of like, right, I came off angry this video, I'm more level-headed this time around, so I'll just state what I don't like in a more level-headed manner. and I'll just direct them to that, and they're going to come up and they're going to see it's 51 minutes and they're like, what the fuck? I don't know, who knows, I might cut it down, but if you're watching a 51-minute video or something around that length and you've made it this far, again, thank you. And I'm going to try and close this now before we get to the hour mark, because, oh god, I didn't want it to be this long. So, if you enjoyed this video, then you can leave it a like, and again, you can comment if you have anything to say. I have no issues with comments, as long as they're civil and not screw you, TS4 is the best, you know what I mean? Just none of that, please. I'm probably gonna get that now, aren't I? But yeah, again, just keep the comments civil, be nice to each other, just no toxicity, unless it's me apparently, I don't know. And if you want to see whatever I decide to do in the future, which I identify as a general gaming channel, but at the moment I'm doing Sims 2 content, so... Well, this is technically Sims 4 content, but this is the last thing I'm ever going to make on The Sims 4, because Jesus Christ. No, never again. Like, the last video on it, like, was eating me alive, and this video's probably going to eat me alive as soon as it goes live too, so... yeah. So... you can subscribe if you want to see whatever I decide to do next, and you miraculously like my personality or whatever. I don't know. So yeah. If you've subscribed, or if you just decide to come back to any future videos in general, I both thank you for that and for watching the entire thing, because I understand that this video was quite lengthy. So yeah. I hope you have a good day or night or whatever time of the day it is again, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye!